Merry meet. It's Rowan Ravenwolf. Wow, what am I talking about today? I'm talking about one specific way that we can dispose of our spells and our spell material. I love this way. So I'm going to share this one. There are lots of ways we can do it, but you know what? Let's jump in and learn about the way I'm going to teach you. All right. So I'm asked a lot, and I was actually recently asked again. I thought, wow, you know what? This is a great topic for one of my videos. I had like a list of stuff I have like a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. But I thought, you know what? This is so important, especially if you're just getting started or if you've taken a break and you're like, what do I do? So when we've cast a spell, whether like even if we're just doing a petition, I do like the full moon and new moons, I burn petitions. When I'm doing like healing spells, a lot of times like I'm going to anoint candles with herbs. Sometimes I'm going to like toss herbs all over. I do make a mess with the herbs, won't kid you. But when I clean off my altar and my workspace, I always have like extra herbs. Sometimes I have extra paper, like if I've cut cut paper or burning a sigil or whatever it is. Even if I've done a candle spell and there's just a little nib left of the candle, I put it in a culling pot. So this is how I dispose of my magic. Now, I learned this from one of my mentors and teachers, and I absolutely love it. So I ran and picked up a big jar. So I'm going to show you my big jar. So here's my big jar. I've got all sorts of stuff in here. The bottom, like all the ashes tend to go to the bottom. So I think it's like cookie jar-ish. So I literally, when I'm done with a spell remnants, I toss it in here. And then what I do when it's full, like this one's full, I pick a time to do a big spell. And I do a bonfire. I have a fire pit in my backyard, and I just do a big bonfire and I do a spell. Usually I do like a letting go spell. Like if I need to let go of like maybe some frustration I have or whatever it is I need to let go of. Usually it's something that's like let go of my day at work. I mean, whatever it is. And I just do the big spell. So I will literally write my spell, open the culling jar, dump the ingredients in the bonfire, and just let go. That's the best way I love to do it. Now, you can do your culling, you can take your culling jar and you can do any spell. So I did a group spell. I've done group spells with this where we've asked for like a nice harvest when we've done Beltane. I believe, no, it wasn't Beltane. Ostara. I had it full for Ostara and dumped it in, and we asked that there be a lot of prosperity and abundance. So abundance of crops and abundance like that the season would bring us an abundance when it came time to harvest. So mine really depends on how full it gets. Sometimes I'm burning it every 4 months. Sometimes it's every 6 months. So it really does depend on how much magic you do, but you don't need to go out and buy a special jar. I just happened to buy a special jar because I was using a mason jar. It was like, I think an 8-ounce mason jar. And I kept like, it would fill up pretty quickly. So I was like, all right, let's get something just a little bit bigger. So I did go big, and I love going big. So this is one way I get rid of spells, the spell remnants that we have. Sometimes I'll do a spell and I might want to use like the element of air, for example. So if I've done a petition, big one, communication, a lot of times, like sometimes I'm afraid to say no to people or, like especially somebody like my husband could take advantage of me so much because he would just be like, if he asked me to do something, I'd be like, I don't say no, right? So, I mean, there are some people sometimes in our lives that we won't communicate with directly. We won't say no to if we need to, or maybe we need to tell somebody some bad news. I hate being the bearer of bad news. I literally hate that. So if I've got to do like if I've got to tell someone something that I really don't want to say, because I don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. Usually it's I don't want to hurt their feelings. I can do a petition on paper to give me the confidence and strength to bear whatever the news is. And I'll usually put the news, and I usually put a time frame on it. Like, sometimes like, if it's like 2 days or something, right? So give me the strength within 24 hours. I'll burn that petition. I'll take the spell remnants and I will let the wind carry it away. Now, if it's not windy, I'm going to blow it. So I'll just and blow it, right? So we've used fire, so it happens fast. We've used air, so that it's going to help with that communication. It's going to help us carry our voice to be vocalized. So there are a lot of ways we can actually dispose of spells. So I've kind of given you two, but the Culling Pot is my most favorite. It's just a really great way. Plus, you can get all those ingredients combined. And the reason I do and I usually do letting go spells with it is because sometimes I've done, like a lot of it is candle work, but when I'm doing mojo bags, I'm going to have like such a mix of herbs. And quite frankly, I may not even remember what kind of herbs are in there. And so they may or may not work, but that's why I like doing it as a letting go. So I hope you liked this with the Culling Pot. It's easy. You could take a big pickle jar because the pickle jars are pretty big sometimes. Clean that puppy out, wash it really, really good. Take some incense, like some camphor incense, clean it out, and then use it as your Culling Pot. I keep mine under my desk where I work, actually here. When the laptop's not here, I have my working space and then my altar part on next to me. So yeah, just have your Culling Pot close by. It's a fabulous way to do a spell and to put your spell remnants, and you can have just a really fun ritual when you need to. So if you like this video and you want more information on occult and witchcraft and divination, feel free to comment below. What are you looking for? Join me on Patreon. There are Patreon exclusives, and actually any video that shows up on YouTube, Patreon members usually get it 24 hours ahead of time. So hit that heart, hit those thumbs if you like, and subscribe. Have a fabulous day. Namaste and blessed be.